Welcome to another episode of Where's the Remote? I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined here by the lovely.
And she's here.
This has been fun. We've gotten...
No, I actually love this. Like, even though, I'm dragging today, this is actually, like, once we get into it and we start, I'm having a ball. I'm so excited after.
This has been fun.
Everything's done after this. So, this is everything.
Because, like, as I'm watching this stuff, it's like, I feel like it's giving me like a new level of like investment of like, oh, I'm actually like watching this thing and like it matters versus I'm just watching TV for the sake of watching TV.
Yeah.
Even though that's not going to change regardless.
I was like, I'm still going to turn on that TV. Where's the remote?
Yes. See? Branding. But I'm excited for this week's episode because this is going to be our first reaction to something new.
Oh.
Thus far, we've only, if you've been following us, we've only been reacting to season 1 of True Detective. Make sure you go back and listen and watch those episodes. And then we started off with some like evergreen content because there isn't current TV right now for us to like react to.
I mean, we're at that pumpkin spice season, so we just started.
Listen, by the time this episode comes out, they gonna know. We here now. We here now. But we are going to be giving our thoughts, our reactions to the latest film from Spike Lee and Denzel. Highest to lowest, ladies and gentlemen. You excited? You ready?
Yeah. I was texting you last night. Well, I was texting you, but I didn't want to text you what my thoughts were.
Yes, I did the same. Yes, I did the same. That's why I was like, "Oh, you about to watch it right now? Enjoy."
Yeah. And I actually never dragged it as long to play it, like, because I was going to watch it as soon as my husband got home, but then I was doing wedding stuff, so that took up time. And then when I finally pressed play, I said, "Where's my fucking 2 hours?" I need it. I need it.
I took a picture of me about to watch it, and I think I put the caption of like, "Oh, let's see if like people's mixed reviews on it are actually accurate." And I posted it on Instagram, and my homeboy was like, "Don't waste your time. Like, it's 2-pack of ass." And I was like, "Well, I got to do this for the pod, so like, all heroes don't wear capes."
Right. It's like, and that's why I wanted to do it because you were saying like it's a lot of mixed. I didn't even want to see the reviews like at all. Like, I really tried to like dodge stuff where people are talking about it because I want to see it with my own eyes, and how I actually feel. And then when you were saying that, I was like, let's see. It's fine.
Let's get into this. Let's get into this. As we mentioned, we're going to be doing a reaction to Highest to Lowest. This is your spoiler warning if you haven't seen it already. I'm mad that I actually did a spoiler warning, but I decided to be nice about it. Yeah. So we're going to do a quick summary of what happens. We're going to do our initial reactions, maybe some deep analysis in it, and then obviously give our final ratings. So let's start with the key events. In Spike Lee's thriller, Highest to Lowest, music mogul David King, played by Denzel Washington, is on the verge of making a legacy-defining deal to buy back his record label, Stacking Hits Records. However, his life is upended by a phone call from a kidnapper who claims to have his son Trey and demands $17.5 million ransom. The moral stakes escalate dramatically when King learns that the kidnappers mistakenly took the son of his longtime friend and chauffeur, Paul Christopher, played by Jeffrey Wright. Faced with the choice of paying a fortune to save someone else's child and sacrificing his business ambitions, or walking away and jeopardizing an innocent boy's life, King and the police descend into the chaotic streets of New York City in a race to save the boy and apprehend the kidnapper. So, what are your immediate thoughts, friend?
What did I just watch? Like, what did I just watch? Like, no, like, for real, like, what did I just watch? Because Honestly, I feel like it was everywhere. Like, no, I'll tell you one thing I did enjoy about the movie. Now, the videography, like the shots, like the color, like all of that, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Perfect. Music, hated it. I feel like that even made it worse. Like,
Yeah.
why are we doing this soap opera music building up to this? And like, it's so loud. And it's like, what is the music, the emotions? I don't know. Like, cause they weren't showing too many emotions. Like, yeah, no. Where's the storyline, by the way?
Yeah. This was not good. I definitely have thoughts. The
Yes, what is
opening to the
yours?
movie, the
Yes.
opening to the movie was very weird. It felt very long. I can't remember what song it was, but the song didn't feel applicable to the actual film itself in terms of like the themes.
Yeah.
And it just went on for way too long. I feel like the opening was like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm like, yo, is this movie starting or not? Like, very
Yeah.
much to what you're saying of like a soap opera sort of feel
Yeah.
to the opening of the film, and I'm like, this is very weird. And then you don't see anybody in that opening shot until the very end, and when you see Denzel on the phone, so it's like, I don't know, maybe because I'm a born and raised New Yorker, it's like I don't need all these visuals. Like I don't need all these visuals of the city.
Yeah.
And then it's not even like, oh, you're trying to set the mood of the city by like shooting people on the
Yeah.
street like extras. You're shooting like just the landscape of New York in general. And it's like
Yeah.
this is
We've
more,
seen this before.
yeah, like this feels
We've
more like
seen this before. We
it
all
feels
know
like
this
stock
movie.
footage. It feels
You
like stock footage that you
yes,
would see on a
yes,
website somewhere. And I'm
yes.
like, what are we
Like,
doing?
do you know how
Um,
many movies are in New York? Like, we've seen these shots.
Bro, you seen them one, you seen them all.
Literally.
That said, one point I do want to make, which is kind of relevant but also irrelevant, because I remember having a conversation with a homegirl of mine. Shout out to Stephanie, but she would always tell me, like, as someone who wasn't born in New York, when she watches movies from like back in the day, like especially in the '90s, New York was like this grimy,
Yeah.
dirty sort of city. And it
Yeah.
was kind of like, even though I hate the opening scene, it just shows like how vastly different the city has changed and like
Yeah.
how, I guess, beautiful it is, the beautiful chaos that New York is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree. It's all over the place. There was definitely like the earlier parts when he was talking to his wife, like how the camera would cut to the next angle was very weird to me. It felt
Yeah.
very unnecessary.
Yeah.
Um, I would say I don't know if it's the writing. It's more than likely the writing, but nobody in the film felt believable in their role. It just all felt like people just reading lines. They didn't feel like they were embodying any sort of characters, which my next point kind of ties into the terms of the plot. Like, he's this music mogul, but we don't really get that sense of it. It's kind of like you could tell he has like this sort of like underlying issue that we know now, that we eventually know that he wants to, buy the company, or like
Yeah.
some sort of money's situation going on. But it's like we start off with him there. I don't get the sense of like this confident like music mogul who's done all these things. It's kind of like just this regular everyday businessman who got some shit that he got to like figure out. Like
Yeah.
there was definitely a disconnect there, and I can't say it was necessarily Denzel's performance. I'll say more so like the writing. Like he feels like just another corporate person, not like a music executive. Like he didn't have that bravado that I was expecting out of Denzel, which is weird because Denzel is all bravado.
Yeah. I feel like one thing that was really tripping me up was Denzel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Earpiece. Now, granted, when he was in, what's the one he was just in? Gladiator.
Gladiator 2. Not a good movie either.
I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. It was better than this. At least it had a storyline. I was intrigued into the story with Gladiator, but he had that same type of hairpiece on. But the hairpiece in Gladiator was definitely better than this.
Yeah, I think it's because they went with like,
too dark.
yeah, because they try to make it seem like he was younger than what he is. versus they
Yeah.
probably should have just kept him like with the grays, and
Yeah.
like his wife could have just been younger.
Yeah. Or no, like the hairpiece.
Yeah, he
Like,
could have just been bald too. He could have just
yeah,
been bald
like he
too.
could
Like,
just, do something different with the hair. That was really throwing me off the whole time. Was
yes,
that? But
yes.
like obviously Denzel, he's a great actor. Like,
Hmm.
and it's like I'm trying to think of all these. Well, I guess like it kind of reminded me of like Frank when he played Frank Lucas. Kind of similar, like a very similar characters, kind of sort of like I could really tell that Denzel's a New Yorker in this
Hmm.
in this movie. I will say so. Like the acting, even with Jeffrey, what's his name?
Jeffrey Wright.
Like even him, like I feel like he's a great actor too. I feel like everything that
Right.
he's pretty good too. And I feel like his acting was really good. But then it's like you have these other actors and actresses who can't really keep up. So it's like you have two characters who are like really like putting on, and then you got the other ones that are like down here. And so
Yeah.
it's a gap, and then you have a writing issue too at the same time.
It's definitely a writing issue because even for Denzel and Jeffrey Wright being these outstanding actors that we know and love, I also just, it wasn't doing it for me with either of them. Like, I could tell Jeffrey Wright was taking it seriously of like playing, someone who's really into like his, 5%, 5%er and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like, there was just a disconnect. And I think it's really the writing that made that disconnect. In terms of like the other people around that just didn't hold their weight, that one cop who's from the fucking the white cop who's in all those like insurance commercials. Why?
Like, why is he here? And it's like, why is his character so overly dramatic compared to everyone else?
And is he like supposed to be playing a racist, but then not really? Like,
right. And it's like we don't get too much of him. We just get his randomness, and then we cut to something else.
And that was another thing. Like, I came into this with no idea what the movie was about. Right. I only seen like maybe half a trailer or whatever. Right. So I have no idea what genre it was in. Right. So as the movie is playing out, I'm like, okay, maybe this is a drama.
Really good, I will say. Because when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh no, I have to see this. Like, I do like trailers where like it's a lot of color, a lot of motion, there's things going, and it's like, I don't know what this movie's gonna be about, but I gotta see it. I like trailers like that. So I wanted to see it because of the color and all this. But wow.
Yeah. But then it reaches a point where like it shifts so many genres that I'm like so confused. Like as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, this is a drama. And then the kidnapping happens. And I'm like, wait, is this now a thriller? Like I was not expecting that. But then they'll try to like put in comedy that didn't land well. So I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like it was, it's not good. It's not good. The writing was not good, and it makes it feel like the actors didn't believe in what it is that they were doing or what it is that they were performing. And it just was like a miss. Like stuff that stuck out to me, the whole trying to make Denzel come off as like this baby boomer, because he'll have like lines where it's like he doesn't know how current technology works or like certain stuff. So like when they're when ASAP Rocky calls him for the ransom, and then they're like, oh, we can't trace it because it's a burner phone. He's like, oh no, y'all don't have, it's 2025. Like y'all don't have whatever it is to figure this out. Like y'all don't watch Law and Order SUV. And I'm like, who wrote that? Who wrote that? Like, this is supposed to be a serious sort of movie, and I'm not saying like you can't have comedy, but that's the wrong place to like put something that's more silly versus like natural humorous or comedic in that position. And it was just weird. Also, and then obviously because we're black and we're tapped into the culture, but when ASAP Rocky calls, and I don't know if you do this, and this is probably a great question, I watch almost everything with captions on. If
I have to.
Yeah, I watch everything with captions on.
Sinners in the movie, I was like, I'm concentrating, I'm listening, but where are the captions?
I'm fighting for my life over here.
Fighting. I need it.
But yeah, so I watch everything with captions on. So when ASAP Rocky calls him for the ransom, it says like caller on the screen, and I'm like, if you're black, you know that's ASAP Rocky. Like, why just put his name on there? Like, I get the whole like young felon reveal. Also, that was a
His name?
horrible. Like, there's just a lack of
I feel
creativity.
like it was low key like a parody. And a lot of, especially with a lot of things that's going on in our culture. With the Diddy thing, like for some reason, like the way they were playing Denzel's character, it just reminded me of like a young Diddy or a Diddy in his prime type of character. And then A$AP Rocky's character being named Young Felon, I feel like it's a play on like Young Thug and all. I was just like, we could have.
It's not good.
But the song that he had recorded was Lil Bop.
Yeah, the song's kind of catchy. Yeah, the song's kind of catchy. The music video at the end was very weird. But the song was definitely catchy.
I liked it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, why don't you actually like release songs like this in your real life? Because like most of the shit that you be dropping is like kind of mid.
Yeah, he's been missing
for
a while.
Yeah, I feel like this movie was just a mess. It feels like multiple directors had their hand on it, because you'll also have like when the news is talking about the family, they'll do like the throwback like grainy sort of screen with the family. I'm like, this is a very artistic choice that doesn't match any of the themes of the rest of the film. Also, like they were very intentional of like showing like this is a very authentic black family with having like a lot of black art pieces in the house.
I did enjoy that.
I enjoyed that, but I was like, this movie almost doesn't speak to anything from like a black experience. So it's like,
because also they're rich. They're rich.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know there's no correlation between the two. Like, you're showing all this black art, but like the story itself could have happened to any group of people. Like, it could have been any white, Jewish, Arabic, like anybody of any ethnic background could have had
like a white or Jew, like you said, type of family. It had to be a black family for sure.
Yeah, so because I'd have been fine with the art, and like I don't have an issue with the art, but the fact is like they would show it and they would freeze frame it. Like, this is important. You have to see this. So it's like, okay, it was really but then this is like completely irrelevant to everything else going on. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't think they did a good enough job building up to him. I think there's a portion of this movie that's a decent movie. Like, I think there's a portion of like the idea of, here's this music exec. We know how toxic.
Right? Huh? The intro, like leading up, and I feel like the scenes all up into the kidnapping, like from like the Trey, like it's a son named Trey.
Yes, Trey.
Like Trey and like the car scene and all of that, and then the Rick Fox and the playing basketball. Like, I enjoyed that.
Yes. That was decent. That was decent. I think there's elements of this film that are okay, where it's like a starting point of like, we know how toxic the music industry is, and like, here's this executive who's made it to the top, and so maybe he's a flawed individual. And they kind of tried to play along that, because once we realized that it wasn't Trey and it was his friends, well, essentially his godson, and he's kind of like, oh no, I don't want to give them money, like I need this money or whatever. But I feel like because there was no real build up to that, it feels hollow. It feels like, yeah, giving up $17.5 million is kind of crazy. Then on top of that, you find out that they didn't kidnap your son, so it's like, that's a tough.
At 5 though, and how they broke it up in the different bills and stuff. That was
I would say that I'm not the best when it comes to drug references, but I feel like 17.5 is a drug reference, because isn't that like a moniker that Jeezy has with like a bunch of his stuff? So I'm not the best when it comes to I'm not the best when it comes to drug stuff. So I don't know, but at 17.5, I definitely not million, but 17.5 in general. I feel like is a drug reference in some capacity. But I think, I think there's elements of this film where it's like, if they had a better build up to him as a music executive and the type of personality that he is, like if we saw him like mistreating his coworkers or like talking down to certain people, then it's like, okay, here's this damaged individual, and now we put him in this tough situation. I think the whole like, oh, it's my godson, not my son, sort of flip ruins it. Like it doesn't really hold any weight. I think if it really was his son, like then it's like, okay, this is like legit, and like we have to care to a certain extent. I really don't have that much anything else to say. The only couple things I would say before we go transition, well, two things. One, there's the scene where Denzel is chasing after ASAP Rocky after he like escapes. That's clearly not Denzel and ASAP Rocky running the streets of the Bronx. Like it was painfully obvious. Like,
oh god, I must have missed
that was painfully obvious. No, go ahead.
What the thing that I didn't like is like, so you know, like when he finally pulls up on him after he leaves his baby mama house and he pull up on him in the studio and they have like this behind the window dialogue. And interesting, like it was interesting, but then when they basically did it again when he was in jail, and it was low-key like the same conversation. Like when I say it wasn't too much of a difference from what they talked about in the studio and in the jail, I think that says a lot about the writing.
Yeah. And I just feel like, what was the point?
And it was like too long.
Why? He literally stole $17.5 million from you. Like, why would you ever like it? It goes back to my comment of like, there's no build up for his character. If we were to see like, yo, this is a really flawed individual, then I could see like, okay, maybe he would still consider signing him. But he didn't give any indication that he would ever take him seriously.
Yeah.
So it was like that whole dialogue in both instances were kind of like pointless.
Yeah. And I guess like the other part, I guess like you know, like a scandal type of thing where, you know, he stole this money from you. Now he got this hottest song out. Now everybody know that he stole from you, and this is the artist that did it. So like I get it in a sense, but it's something missing. It's just something.
It's a lot missing. It's a lot missing.
And that's like the really, really biggest thing. And that's like, and I was really trying to figure like, what is the theme of this? Like, what is the deeper part in this whole movie? And everything was just jumping around like that, where I just couldn't be like, oh, catch. Like, I couldn't catch nothing. I feel like the only thing that I caught, they said it so many times, was attention. Like, the attention thing. Like, you know, they started off with his son talking about like Instagram and followers and how he needs to get this following and thing. Cool. And then he talks about this other attention thing like that. And then like, oh, ASAP Rocky, I need to get your attention. I got your attention. So that was like the only theme that I'm seeing, but I'm not getting the deeper message at all.
Yeah. And I mean, that was the next question. That was the question I was going to ask you when we were going to record, was like, as I was watching it, I was having that same struggle. I was like, what is this movie trying to tell us?
Yeah.
I don't feel like it told me anything. It just feels like a series of random events that just happened to be collated one together.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, okay. And then I'm looking at all these different people that were casted. Like they had Rosie Perez, they had Anthony Ramos, they had Wendell Pierce, they had like a bunch of people that I recognize from really good stuff. And it's kind of like, y'all did barely anything with all these people. Like you could have casted anybody for this. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just not a good movie. I don't know if there's anything before we transition. I don't know if there's anything else you want to get off your chest about it.
No, those are like the main things. Like,
yeah, it's very hollow.
For it to be a 2-hour movie, okay? Usually, if a movie is at least 2 hours, you're getting a lot of information. Like you're getting a storyline, you're getting a plot, you're getting all these things, and it's gonna line up by the time you get to the end.
Right.
That never happened, so we could have cut that thing. It's an hour 20, hour 30.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah. There was a lot going on. There was a lot. Like, as you say that, the scene that comes into my mind as a perfect example is when the cop goes into like his office and like asks him like, are you gonna give up the 17.5? Like, or are you gonna pay the ransom? Like, we'll get the money back. And he just doesn't say a word the whole entire time. And then the cop walks out. And then that's when he comes out with his son and his wife and it's like, we're gonna pay it. And I'm like, huh? Why he couldn't just tell the cop, so then that way like we could transition to that a little bit better versus you give us a silent treatment, which we assume is a no, and then now you saying yes. Yeah, it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. If you don't got anything else, then we can transition to our favorite scene if we have one, and obviously our least favorite moments, which I'm sure we have plenty. I feel like the whole episode was about
literally
least favorite.
Yeah, so, I know, right? We said
I only have one good favorite scene.
I like the Rick Fox one when they playing basketball. Because to me, it's like just thinking about the whole entire movie. To me, I felt like that was like a build up of what was going to happen in the movie. Like, we didn't know that a kidnapping was going to happen. So like, okay, maybe, the son really wants his dad to be there or whatever. And it's a drama with that. He got a best friend. Like, you got a godson. They're super close.
Right.
Like, all of that. And then you got Rick Fox. Like, who don't want to see Rick Fox flying ass? Like,
even the other scene that he was in that was kind of like useless when they were asking him like details. Yeah. And it was, I guess that's supposed to be like a comedic scene because then the other guy is like a Boston Celtics fan and all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, I'll give you an autograph. I was like, what's the point of this? Like, why are we doing this? Like, I was not after the initial introduction of Rick Fox, I was not expecting him to pop back up in the movie.
Yeah, me neither. Because the way he popped up was super random.
Yeah, it was like, why? Because then it makes it seem like, is he responsible in some capacity? But he's playing himself. So I don't know.
It was given a setup. Like, it was kind of like it was set up for like a setup, but then it was like had nothing to do with a setup at all. So
even Jeffrey Wright's character, and I didn't want to go back, but when they're like when he figures out that his young felon, he texts somebody. So I'm like, wait, was he in on it? But then come to find out he wasn't involved. So I'm like, what was the point?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
And how do you know exactly who to text? Because I'm assuming he texts the baby moms, and it's like,
maybe,
huh?
I don't know. It was
all right. The only favorite scene I have is when they're in the car and Jeffrey Wright pulls out his gun and he asks him, what is that? And he says, it's insurance. This is Jake from State Farm. I was dying. That made me chuckle. Okay. So I enjoyed that. Because I could imagine like you in that sort of scenario, like you try to lighten the mood right before you do something a bit serious.
Yeah.
All right. I know we've talked about our least favorite movies basically this whole episode, but I have a few that stand out specifically to me. That white cop again. One, he's from the insurance commercials, which is a very weird casting. And I'm not saying that people who are in commercials can't do more serious stuff, but like the way he was played, the direction that was given to him was wrong. Wrong. But when they found the green headband, he literally said, shit just got real. And I'm like, what? What? And then he also says to the black female cop, because she was going off into this tangent about this random stuff. Not random, but like all this high technical stuff. And then he was like, damn, sister, where'd you go to college? And I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like, why we keep doing this? That pissed me off. Another thing that pissed me off, when his son, after he does all the stuff and his son shows him like how he's blowing up on social media, that has to be the worst Photoshop I've ever seen in my life. Like, you took a regular picture of Denzel and put his head on top of Black Panther's animated body. Like, first of all, that's like might be low key offensive because of how attached we are to Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman. So the fact that you're doing that is like
Yeah,
nuts.
no. Yeah, I almost forgot about that part. But yeah, like every time they would show it, I was like,
I was annoyed every time. I was annoyed every time. Like,
yeah.
I know the apartment that they rented to shoot that stuff is expensive. Y'all have money for like a legit graphic
Didn't
designer.
it look like the same apartment that was on American Gangster?
It may have been. It's been a while since I've seen
Only
American
reason
Gangster.
why I say that it was the staircase that got me. I was on the
It
like,
might be. It
maybe.
might be. That's a good call out. Good call out. Okay, I have two more lows, and then I don't know if you have any lows. The baby moms, when he finally shows up to the baby mom's place, and she's like, "Oh, Archie," she calls him Archie. Don't call him young felon. He keep up this stuff, he's gonna be old ass felon. I was like, bro.
And that's another reason why like I hated the young felon as his rap name.
Yes, it was bad. It was bad.
Like who said that? Like who
wrote that? Who wrote that? And was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna get him with this one. I'm gonna get him with this one.
This is a parody of what's going on in our culture. Like, is this
it feels like
an old head take of what he's seeing in the new 2025 version of Black culture?
I don't know. It wasn't good. It was not good. Do you have any other like lows that you could pick out that we haven't mentioned already?
You said I literally talked about all like that video at the end.
I mentioned those because those are the ones that like really like piss me the fuck off. I was like, yo, what are we watching?
Yeah, between that dialogue and the music video, that's when I was really like, no, for real, what am I watching? Like
that pissed me off. We didn't need the girlfriend and her singing. We didn't need. There was just so much fluff, and I was like, if you actually truncated half of this and had better writing, like this could have been a way better movie.
Without
better movie, or even the whole Jeffrey Wright possibly setting the whole thing up. Like, I would have loved that. Or even maybe it was a whole setup by everybody because he wants to like buy the business or whatever. Like, it could have went in a completely different way.
Was going. And that's the other thing. It's like it was so many like we're like, oh, we're trying to figure it out, but it's like, no, it's not that not even close. It's even worse. It's actually even worse.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else. I don't think you have anything else. I guess we could give our ratings.
Oh God.
I might have to go back and update my letterbox because I think I gave it like a 3.5, but I might.
Now you're thinking about you give it a solid 3.
I might bump it down. I think I bump it down to a 2. I think I gotta bump it down to a 2.
Yeah.
I would say for how bad it is, I never reached the point where it's like I have to shut this completely off. And I was like, I don't know if entertained is the right word, but I was like intrigued enough to see how it would play out and see like, is this going to make sense at some point? It never did.
Yes. And I think that's why I never turned it off, because I'm waiting for that moment where it's like, oh shit, this is when it gets good.
yeah. It just never happened. So I'm sticking to a 2 out of 5. I don't know.
That's a good one. I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Like
I said, the visuals, that was like the best thing for me. Like, that was like the color. I just love to see color and just the Black people. You know, I love Black. And then Denzel was fine too. And Rick Fox. It's like they really had some really good characters for it to like. And this is actually my issue with Hollywood now and how they love putting the people that we always see. And it's like, you're trying to grab me because of these actors and these actresses, and you fumble the whole project because you probably put it into paying them.
Yeah.
Find somebody new.
Yeah. or we're just not paying the writers, which is why we had that writer's strike
that's what I'm
last
saying.
year or the year
That's
before
what I'm
that.
saying. We can put that money to somewhere else. We can pay somebody. I'm not saying like, we all need our wages, but you do gotta start from somewhere as an actor, actress, I would assume, pay somebody that is up and coming, because it's a lot of people out here who is trying to grind and get to that next level, and they're not being noticed because we're just doing these same top 50 people basically at this point.
Right.
Put that in the writing.
Yeah, we definitely need. We definitely need an influx of newer talent, both on the screen and behind the scenes, to get better content. Because again, I think there are elements to this film that are decent in theory. They're just not executed well in any capacity. So I wish this was a much more positive episode, but what can you do? So
we tried. We literally tried.
I don't even know if I tried.
I had a little bit of hope until I got halfway through.
Yeah. So, I think it was doomed once it was like, wait, kidnapping? Huh?
Yeah, that did. It could have been a whole nother freaking plot that the kidnapping.
Yeah, and we don't even see the kidnapping, so it's like, all right, man. Okay, so I need y'all to go follow us on YouTube, subscribe, because that got me mad. Like,
how many things?
Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Threads, follow us on TikTok, Instagram. We're actually much more positive on stuff that's actually good. Everything else. Go listen to our True Detective episodes. Go listen to our evergreen stuff. Like, that's good content. This, we can only do so much. I'm a working man. She's a working woman. Like, that's overtime. Trying to make this work. So, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next week. And that's all we got for y'all.